What was the most significant thing you learned?
So the thing that really stood out for me, I took notes the whole time, and then when I took down this note, I put 2 little stars next to it because I was like, I really need to remember this bit. And it was just that sharing the gospel is simple. And I feel like so much I overcomplicate it, and I'm like, there's got to be like all these signs, and there's got to be, you've got to be really confident, and there's all these strategies you've got to really, work it out. But really all it is just, it's simple, just a simple conversation or just a simple response to the Spirit, and just, there's no strategizing, there's no planning it out, because God will just set up the divine appointment for you. So that was my most significant thing that I learned.
How will Condo Camp help you live the Christian life?
A Christian camp in general is really good for breaking routine and just really refreshing your faith and bringing you back to worship and hearing from other speakers, and that's what I felt. It really inspired me and really refreshed my focus on God's purpose for my life. So that's what I think Condo Camp is good for in the Christian life.
What was the best story or testimony that you remember by Fred?
So the weirdest story from Fred is the one I remember. It was a bit vague, so I don't remember it exactly, but I think what he was trying to say was, what are pickles made from? Someone remember? Cucumber, right. So he was saying that a cucumber is one thing, and a pickle is like, it's not a natural growing thing. It's like made from cucumbers, and you put it in the chemicals and it changes it, so it's something new entirely. And once it's being changed, it can't go back to what it was, something like that. And I think what he was trying to say was that's what it's like when we're changed, when we have Jesus come into our life. So that I specifically remembered because it was so strange and out of the blue. And the other day he also included the analogy in relation to the Macca's cheeseburgers, how everyone takes out the pickles. So the other day when I was having a cheeseburger, I thought of that testimony. Story, analogy.
Would you recommend Condo Camp to anyone?
Yes, I would, for the reason that it is helpful in the Christian life, and especially for the young people, because it's really great to get involved in all the games and meeting new people, and there's heaps of practical information as well. Like one thing we had was a love panel. So basically there was a session where we just asked a whole bunch of questions based on love and relationships and all of that kind of thing, and got answers based on the Christian perspective. And I feel like that kind of practical life application, Christian attitudes, is really useful, and you can find that at Condo Camp, so definitely recommend it.
What was your favourite meal and your favourite game at Condo?
Okay, the food was really good. I was very impressed. If you don't want to go for anything else, go for the food.
Yeah.
We had a roast. It was my favourite meal. It was like roast beef and the best gravy and nice vegetables. So that was my favourite meal. And then my favourite game was the second day when we went out on the grass and just played a whole bunch of little games. Like we played some sort of sumo fighting thing in zorb balls and slip and slide. That was really fun.
Do you have any goals set from Condo that you're still working towards? If so, how are you working towards that goal?
Still working towards, I guess, that dot point that I said, that sharing the gospel is really simple, and just trying to act upon that, and just trying to be open and listening for the Spirit, and when He's set up an appointment, and just being ready to respond to that.
And one more question. How would you rate in order these activities at Condo? Praise and worship, games, new friends, speaker, food, and leaving Canberra for a long weekend.
Okay. So I've got them written down in order so I won't forget them. It might be a little bit cliche, but I've put at the top the speaker because I really was hungry to hear from the speaker. So that was definitely my I was really excited to hear from that, so that was at the top. And then praise and worship, and then the food because it was really good, and have new friends, and then leaving Canberra for the long weekend. Okay, so now Phoebe's going to answer the same questions. So what was your standout moment of Condo Camp?
Probably like listening to Fred. Like, he was like really good with like his like sermons, message, like, you know. And praise and worship was really good. Like, I really enjoyed that. Everyone was pumped. I don't really have a standout moment because everything was really good.
Yeah, that's great. What was the best story or testimony that you remember by Fred?
Well, I liked it the first time he spoke. It was like about like getting out of the tent, listening to like the Holy Spirit, and then like he sets you up for situations. Being a Christian, you might get like teased or bullied and stuff, but like you do it because you like, you know, you like love God and like you want to, you know, share the good news. Yeah, and yeah. Okay.
All right. So would you recommend Condo Camp to anyone?
Definitely. It's like, it's fantastic festival. Everyone like enjoys it. It's so fun. All the activities are amazing, and yeah.
So what was your favourite meal and your favourite game at Condo?
Well, the food was like all really good, so I didn't really have a favourite like meal, but the pancakes were really good, and yeah. My favourite game is like, I think it's called Spotlight. Was that it? Yeah, that was so much fun. We played like 1 o'clock in the morning and we played that game, and it was like so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of late nights at Condo.
Yeah, it was like pitch black.
So do you have any goals set from Condo, and if so, how are you working towards them?
I'm hoping that my friends will come next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all actually wrote down the name of a friend that we had on our hearts, and Fred took a photo of that list of names, and he said that he was actually going to remind us that time next year to try and get that person to come along. So it'll be really great to see that happen. And the last question, how would you rate in order these activities? Praise and worship, games, new friends, the speaker, food, and leaving Canberra for the long weekend.
So it would definitely be the speaker. Like, he had a lot of he like spoke the word really good, and he was very sarcastic as well, which is, it was like really funny. And then it would definitely be praise and worship. And then it would be new friends, games, and then the food, and then leaving Canberra for a long weekend.
That's great. That's everything.
Excellent.
Thank you.